Am I further today than I was yesterday? That's the race. Did I do more today than I did yesterday? That's the race. And that's when it comes to comparison, that's the only thing I want you to compare yourself against. Jordan, the best basketball player of all time, only competition he ever said he had was himself. All the greats, they say, I'm comparing myself to myself. Am I further today than I was yesterday? Did I do more? Did I do something that scared me today? Did I do something if you going through every day and you ain't a little bit scared or nervous about a decision or something that you made, you're not pushing yourself far enough, because you can't succeed to achieve your goal where you're at. So it has to be comfortable. I can't lift this pencil and think I'm a gain muscle. There's not enough weight. Feel what I'm saying? I gotta lift the weight that's uncomfortable to me to lift. It's only but a couple times I can do this, right? I need a heavy weight, because the heavy weight is what's gonna give me the muscles, right? It's when you go to the gym and you running and you biking and you doing a Stairmaster and you doing all of that you sweating, that you'll lose weight. If you go into the gym and you walking around and you playing around, you in the gym, yeah, but if you're not sweating, if you ain't doing nothing that's allowing your body to work, you won't get the results that you deserve to get. So we should be feeling uncomfortable every day, in a good way, uncomfortable because we're pushing ourselves to do something. We should be feeling uncomfortable every day. We should be moving forward every day, one step at a time. Make sense? So anyway, that's what this month is the revenue race. And essentially what that is putting yourself in a position to at least generate revenue. Revenue doesn't just show up at our door. It comes through the people. It comes through us serving and helping and asking people questions. So if you say, what's the starting point? You can't control if somebody signs up with you. You can't control if somebody finds your program valuable. You can't control that. What you can control is the amount of conversations that you're having, because those conversations will lead to appointments, and it's going to be those appointments that are going to lead to a percent. You don't need everybody to say yes. I don't even want everybody to say yes, because everybody isn't even, not to say cocky, but they're not even qualified to work with me, because there's only a certain type of people that I work with, certain type of person that I work with. And I've said it to y'all before, right? But just know that you're in this program, so you're that type of person. But I don't work with everybody, because some people will drain you more than necessary, right? They're like, that you ain't for me, for somebody else, and I'm okay with that, because I don't need everybody. I don't need everybody in this program. I don't need everybody to say yes.
I did drain you the first hour, right?
Wait, what'd you say?
I drained you the first call.
No, you good. No, you good, right? But there's certain type, like the type of people that I like to work with are, I like working with folks that are coachable. Like I like working with folks that have a good heart. I like working with folks that are genuine and real, right? A lot of y'all like, yo, the reason I rock with you is like, yo, just how you come across, right? I could tell you really care about my success, right? Well, that's because I really do. But I care about people who also care about their own success. You know what I'm saying? Like I care about people who want to do great and they're willing to invest in themselves, right? Because there's some people that's not willing to invest in themselves, and it's like, some people you don't realize that the more you invest in yourself, the more motivated you become. People are trying to find there's different ways to find motivation, but I can tell you one of the easiest ways is to put your money up. So one of the easiest ways to find investment in yourself. When you spend money on something, you're going to take care of it. The kid in high school that bought his car versus the kid in high school that got the car given to them by their parents, I guarantee you the kid who bought it take care of the car, and the kid, I told some of y'all this, and the kid who don't take care of it crashed it up. So like my niece, I forgot how many years ago it is now, but when she first turned 18, I bought her first car, right? And And so I bought her the car, and I was like, yo, you're 18 now. Like, listen, you my oldest niece, like, I got you, right? So I bought her this car. And messing with these crazy boys, you know what I mean? One of the dudes, I see James already shaking his head. You already know where this is going. One of the dudes was drinking and driving and ended up totaling the car. Right? Nobody got hurt. She wasn't in the car, but he borrowed the car and ended up crashing it, and it got totaled. I said, well, that's the last car that I'm buying you. You do realize that. I said, you're gonna have to work for it. Her mom, my parents was like, Uncle Terrell, I don't think he's gonna buy you another car, so you're gonna have to work for it, right? So let's just say this was like 5 years ago, let's just say, right? And so she bought another car probably like a year after that. Within the next year, she saved up enough money to get another car. And I haven't heard of a scratch being on that car since. Scratch. Nothing. Like, she takes care of that car. Why? Because she had to work for it. You feel what I'm saying? So really, really key. You know what I mean? So that's one of the reasons too, like when you're, and by the way, all this stuff I'm giving y'all, this ain't even part of the lesson. This is just this. I told you sometimes these gems just come out that I'm just gonna give y'all. Right? So but one of the things that for us too is like, don't be afraid to charge your clients, like the people that you're gonna work with, because sometimes we get nervous that, oh, can people afford it? Or, or what if they say no, or whatever. Like, don't be afraid of saying what your price is, because part of the reason you see people who have testimonials, the reason they have testimonials is because they got people who are motivated because they paid some type of money. And we all have this experience because each and every one of us has helped before you. This might have been the first program where you really felt like, I got it together, or maybe you really started charging, or maybe you haven't. Maybe you did this before, but I can tell you this. When you were giving people when you give people advice for free, you probably did not have a lot of people who implemented your advice. True or false? True, right? So it's the same thing here, is that, like, don't be afraid to charge. And if you can't, you work with people how you can work with them. But at the end of the day, you have a threshold of what you're willing to charge, not just for you, but for their sake, that you charge it. You know what I mean? And if it's not the right fit right now, it's not the right fit right now. That's why I said earlier that don't just give up on people. Keep rocking with them. You know what I mean? So anyway, we'll talk more about that. But y'all ready to go into this training today, talking about how to attract quality leads? Y'all ready? All right, let's go. So how to attract quality leads? Like, what are we doing? How do we do this thing? And I'm excited about this. Today I'm going to make this a little bit more Q&A based. I'm going to give you some proven principles that I've been following and that's working today. And then we'll open up the floor, and then we'll talk about that specifically. When I say attract quality leads, essentially what a lead is somebody who provides their name, their email, and/or their phone number, and they are part of I like to call it as part of your community or part of your email list. In our industry, that's how we look at leads. Right? Somebody, in exchange for whatever you're giving them, they say, I'm willing to give you that so you can stay in contact with me. Whatever that looks like. That might look like you're giving away an ebook. That might look like you're selling an ebook. That might look like, I want to speak to you over the phone. Sure. Here's my contact information. Book me on your calendar. That might look like, I want to join this Zoom training. That might look like, I want to join this challenge, whatever the case is, but it's something that they're willing to give in order to receive. Does that make sense? And in the case of leads, it's providing their contact information. So our job, this is the biggest piece that I was missing when I started this. And some of y'all hear me say this all the time. I call it the post and pray syndrome. Right? Like, I literally used to post and just pray that I got clients, but I didn't even know that it was really about creating a relationship with somebody and providing value getting them as a lead and providing value to them on an ongoing basis where they'll potentially enroll at a future date. Does that make sense? So a lot of us are trying to get clients by just posting and you're not doing anything else. And that's why I say that's bare minimum. At best, you'll get one person every 6 months to reach out and say, oh, I see you doing this. I like what you're doing. You know, can we work together? You lucky if you get that once or twice a year, to be real, unless you're at like a high level, like an ET, the hip hop preacher level, or Lisa Nichols level or something like that. You might get that more often, but definitely not going to be sustainable to where you're going to be making 6 figures doing this, right? 5-10 grand a month. You know what I mean? So our job is to be able to attract leads. Now, folks are going to say, okay, well, how do I attract leads, right? How do you do that? So for me, one of the things early on that I wasn't sure about is, well, why would somebody want to continue following me? I'm like, okay, well, maybe they want to listen to me, maybe they won't. But why would somebody give me their information? Why would somebody give me their information? Well, they're going to do it because they want to continue to get what you're providing, right? Because people know now, people are sophisticated. They know that when they give you their information, they know that you're going to follow up with them. They know that you're going to provide value. Like, we're in a sophisticated marketplace now, right? So people know that. So there's no secret. So the thing is though, the things that they're giving you, they're willing to give you that because of what you're giving is value, right? So for example, we have a free Facebook group, right? The Facebook group is called the Coaching Playbook. Majority of us probably came through that, right? It's probably how you discovered me, through that. You probably clicked on the ad, you went to the Facebook group, you was like, yo, Coach G's providing some dope content here. We talked and you said, I want to rock with you, right? So when you think about what happened, what happened, right? What happened was you saw me somewhere. I just happened to be running ads, but you could have saw me. I could have done a regular post on my Facebook. You could have saw me collaborating with somebody else. You just happened to probably see an ad, right? So what that did is you enrolled to be part of a free community where I'm providing valuable content. You said, I want to be part of that community. So you provided your name and your email to say, I want to be part of that community, right? So then you join the community that allowed you to get exclusive content from being a part of the group. And then you got enough of that to where we had a conversation and then took a forward from there, right? All of us need some element of that. We all need some element. You might not have a Facebook group. All right, let me say this. Anybody here have a Facebook group? Who here has a Facebook group? I'm curious, right? All right, so if you have a Facebook group, you should be leveraging your Facebook group as a lead magnet. If you're not doing that, you're making a serious mistake. Because people want to be part of communities. Regardless of what niche you're in, people want to be part of community. So you want to use that as a way where people say, yo, I want to be a part of that, right? So that's a lead magnet, right? So you want to be doing these things. And because I didn't know that, it was hard for me to make it happen. First thing is message to market clarity. It's the first thing we need to do to attract quality leads. The message to market clarity. Everybody write that down. Somebody put that in the chat for me. All right, message to market clarity. So essentially what this means is our job, very first, is to make sure that our message in the marketplace is extremely clear. So sometimes we say, well, I'm not getting the right people, or I don't feel like I have the right type of followers, or I'm getting a bunch of broke people on the call. The problem is that it's likely you're messaging and you're attracting the wrong people, right? Because based on what you say, you'll attract people based on what you say. And it sounds simple, but what you say matters. No matter how many people you think is looking at it, you got people that's looking at it. You can see your insights, you can see how many people it reached. That's what the reach is. Reach is how many people saw it. Regardless of whether they engaged, how many people saw it, right? So that's why I'm not tripping over like Instagram numbers and all that. Like I'm not tripping over the vanity metrics, because one, I know that people are seeing it, and there's going to be people that will never engage with you, but they'll sign up with you. You know how many people that I have in the group, like I'll put it to you this way, that free Facebook group that I have generates me multiple six figures. Just the group. I'm not even saying people that I meet out at conferences. I'm not even saying like people that, you know, might have seen me on a training that I did. Like I just did a call with my coach, Coach K. He has a whole community, right? I'm not even talking about things that I'm just talking about the group itself. Why? Because I'm attracting the right people into the group. And guess what? If I feel like you're not the right person, I won't even let you in. Even if you tried to opt in, like you clicked on the ad and you tried to opt in, but you still have to request access into the group. If you're not the right person based on what I can see, or based on how you answer the questions, I'll decline you to be. You'll still be part of my list, so you'll still leave, but I won't let you in the group. Because it's and that's just the free group. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm even picky about the free group because it's not about the numbers. Like it's really about getting in front of the right people, and getting in front of the right people has a lot to do with your messaging. So I had a challenge where I was attracting a lot of people who didn't have money. And I couldn't figure out why. And I remember watching a training, or it might have been one of my coaches who told me, he said, "Well, what are you saying?" And I said, "Well, I'm just kind of saying, just saying whatever I think, it's going to be helpful to people." He said, "Go back and look at what you're saying." And I started looking at, this was around the time I might have just first started running ads, but I was looking at like some of my videos. I was looking at some of the posts I was making. And I remember seeing posts quite frequently like, "Are you broke, busted, and disgusted? Do you not have 2 pennies to rub to your name? Are you living check to check?" And guess the type of people that I attracted. Guess the type of people that I attracted. People can't rub 2 pennies together, got more month at the end of the money, right? And people who live in check to check. But I thought that, oh, you know what? Because I'm thinking that that's something that is, I'm like, yo, I want to help people because if they need to make money, and they don't have any money, those are the people that's going to want to do what I have the most. But those are the people that's not going to be able to do it the most. Right? So be very careful about your messaging. Like if there's a certain type of person you want to work with, you have to be very vocal in that, not arrogant, vocal in that. What does that look like, Coach T? That looks like when you're doing a video. A lot of us, we do videos and we're just training. Throw something in there. You could throw something else in there. You could say, you could be talking about mindset. And you could be talking about the mindset you need to have. And you could say, like, for example, like there's certain types of people that I don't work with if they don't have an open mindset. If you're just trying to come in and you really just think you're just going to make some quick money or get a quick hit, but you don't have a growth mindset, you don't have a mindset of learning, I'm not going to be the coach for you. Right? And you could throw that in the middle of a lesson. That's how people will learn if they're for you or not for you. Because guess what's going to happen? You're going to repel some people, but you're going to attract people because you stand for something, because you have principles, because you have morals, because you have something that you believe in. People are attracted to that. We don't talk about our morals enough. We don't talk about our values enough. We don't talk about what we believe in. We teach it and we train it, but we don't talk about what we personally are willing to accept and not willing to accept. And I'm telling you that your value in the marketplace will go up exponentially, and you'll attract a lot more quality people when you're willing to say who you're for and who you're not for. And when I started doing that, I started attracting way more quality people, way more. So I want us to be able to do that. I want us to be able to, and you don't gotta fire hose them, right? But sprinkle in your values, sprinkle in your morals, sprinkle in the type of person you want to work with. Don't be afraid to say who you for and who you not for. Like, and that's important. You know what I mean? So that's the very, very first thing. Your message to market clarity. All right, and I appreciate y'all for throwing that in the chat. Kofi said they're financially impaired. Right, exactly. All right, so that's number one. All right, and then we'll take some questions at the end because I want to do Q&A. All right, so that's the first thing. The second thing is, everybody write this down. Second thing is, to attract quality clients, you need a content rhythm. Content rhythm. Coach, content rhythm is what? That's a long way to, that's a fancy way of saying you need to consistently post on a routine. You need to consistently post content on a routine. Let me give you the holy grail of what this looks like at the highest level. All right, at what we do. The highest level at what we do is posting every day, 3 to 5 times a day. That's really the holy grail. You don't need to post more than 5 times a day. But the reason you want to post more than once a day is because the way these social media platforms are set up is that the more you post, the more of your audience actually sees it and discovers it. So if I post, so I try my hardest every day to post, and I've been pretty consistent with it, to post before 9 o'clock. Anybody, why do I do that? Why do I post before 9 o'clock? Especially in the US.
Because the algorithm picks up around lunchtime. So people want to see it between 10 and 12.
They'll see it, yep. It'll still be circulating, right? But why 9
Posting
o'clock?
before, I got you, Coach T. Posting before 9 a.m. means that the people that have employment are actually going to catch it before they even start work. So now you're appealing to the people that got money in their pocket because they on their way to work right now. So those are the people you're talking to.
Bingo. Thank you, Marcy. Right? Know your audience. Know your audience. You feel what I'm saying? So it's important. So for me, right, and universally, you can, pretty much, it depends, unless you have like a really obscure audience, you know what I mean, that has really weird hours. But really outside of that is like, I post in the morning because I want to catch people before work, i.e., because I know my people, I want my people to be working people, right? If I post early, I'll put it to you this way. Like, if you ain't got no job, you probably ain't waking up early. Am I right or right? Right? So the thing is, I like to post before 9 a.m. and we can all adopt this. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can all do this. I like to post before 9 a.m. because I want to catch people in the morning, right? But it might be lunchtime, or it might be 3 o'clock or 6 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night, 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and they may miss my post. My audience may not miss it. I mean, they may end up missing it if I don't post more frequently. So part of the reason you post, to be honest, is not necessarily to get more followers, although we do want to get more followers. It's really to continue building the know, like, and trust factor with your audience. Because people will discover you different ways, but it's the know, like, and trust factor. It's, oh, this person knows what they're talking about. Oh, this person, I like this person's personality. This person seems genuine. This person, they show their family, right? Which starts to lead into trust, right? Okay, this person, I can see this person's morals, values. And then guess what? If somebody likes you, guess what they're going to start doing? They're going to start watching more of your content. You're going to start, people will binge watch your content, which is why, again, you need to be posting every day, because people will binge watch your content. You need to be consistent every day. All right. And then when people binge watch your content, you're putting yourself in a position where they'll be way more open-minded to working with you because they feel like they know you. You know what I'm saying? So that's really, really key. Does that make sense, yeah? All right, perfect. And then we'll take some questions at the end. All right, so that's the second thing, content rhythm. And one more thing with content rhythm, find when you want to post or when you're able to post. Right. So for me, I like to do it. I try to do it before my son wakes up in the morning. He usually probably wakes up between like 7 and 8:30. So I try to get it before then. But even then, like if my wife has him for like 20 minutes, get him dressed or something, I'm like, cool, let me put up this post. It's like that in the morning for me, because I know how important it is for people to rely on my content. And I have people who do, right? And you build that bond and that affinity and that trust with people. All right, makes sense? All right, so find when you're going to post. So that's the second thing. The third thing is, of course, we've been talking about it this whole training, is a lead generator. To get leads, you need a lead generator. To get leads, you need a lead generator. Right? So go ahead and put in the chat. Go ahead and put in the chat, because I beat this up a lot, so I think y'all know it. Put in the chat, what are some lead generation ideas? Go ahead and throw in lead generation ideas in the chat. This might be good for y'all to screenshot as well. All right, throw some lead generations in the chat right now. All right, we got Marcy. You able to read some of these off?
I got you. I'm gonna skip mine. Renee sent a message directly to me, but I'm gonna go ahead and shout it out since she sent it to me and meant for everybody. She said checklists and ebooks. Shamika said scripts and worksheets. We have Rhoda said email. Daryl said assessments. And I have webinars and live events also.
There you go. And live events. Yep. So I love it, right? So, and there's way more. Yep. Mini courses. It could be unlimited. Yep. Or it could be checklists. It could be, I've seen people give away like thumb drives with like their course on it. Like they'll mail you a thumb drive to your house. They uploaded their course on it and mailed it to your house. I mean, you could literally think of anything. You could do challenges. You could do, you could literally, I mean, pretty much do anything, right? So you could give away videos and trainings. So the thing is this, you need a lead generator. Now, an easy lead generator could be, hey, I got a few open spots on my calendar this week to coach a few people, give away some coaching sessions. Who would like one? You can do that. You could do, that's what we call more direct. You could do indirect, which is, hey, I have a webinar that's going to be on this topic. You should join. The thing is this, all of this is really about giving away value, but it's really about sparking a conversation, right? So for example, if you look at what I do inside of the free group, like I should really study, because a lot of these principles I do all over my social media, but I really apply it inside of the free group because I have a concentrated amount of my ideal clients in the group, right? So why wouldn't I use this stuff inside of the group, right? So if you look at what I do, every so often, a few times a month, I give away a lead magnet. Actually, I think I got to do one this week. So I'm going to do one this week. I'll probably do one tomorrow inside of the group, right? Because I just did a training with my guy, Sean Raiz. That was dope. So I'm going to use that. It was on Zoom. It's not inside of the group. I didn't share it to the group, the free group. So I'm going to use that link and say, who wants to learn about marketing their business? If you want it, let me know. If you want it, respond to this email. If you want it, comment below, right? I'm going to use that. We're going to get a certain amount of people that's going to say, I want to watch that training. Now, pop quiz. Anybody except Marcy, right? And yeah, anybody except Marcy, right? So if somebody, let's say if I have a link, right, with my training, let's say I did a webinar, and now I want to give people access to this as a lead magnet. Let's say somebody comments, let's say I do a post and somebody comments to say I want it. What would be the next thing that you would do? If somebody says I want it in your comments, I want to watch that training. What should be the next move you make?
I would say set up an appointment.
Okay, you could set up an appointment, but you jump in multiple steps, right? So you don't just go straight to the appointment.
Well, you know what? I remember what you used to do, Coach T. You would DM, you would come into the messages and send them, hey, Michelle, I see you, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you would straight up message. I remember that.
You know what I'm saying? Right?
Yeah, I remember.
So, all right, now why you're doing it to spark a conversation. We're going to talk about this a little bit more, but realize that it's about sparking a conversation. So, because guess what you really could do? What you could do? Really, if I said, I have a link to this training that you can learn about lead generation, who wants it? What could I really do once they comment and said they wanted it? What could I do? I could just post it in the comments, right? What, can I just do that? Why wouldn't I do that?
Because you didn't capture any of their information.
Well,
Yeah,
you're not building a foundation in a relationship. You're trying to build a relationship. That's the foundation.
you're taking away all the power you have with building a relationship and booking an appointment. You taking away all the power, right? That's why you don't just do things like you. And this is the overarching principle I want all of us to remember. Instead of just giving people things, throw it out there to see who's interested. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's why I never tell you just put your price out, like just put that out there, or just put your link out there to have people sign up, or just because that don't work. You need to see who's interested, right? And the people who raise their hand and are interested are the people you pull to the side, and then you have a conversation with. You feel what I'm saying? So essentially, if this was a live event, you know, you would say, all right, who here is interested in working with me in this way? All right, cool. Meet me over there by the back table. Everybody who's interested, meet me over there by the back table. Let me give you access. We're going to get you in. Right? So you want to be able to do that. So when somebody says, when you say, hey, you know, thank you, send a DM and you say, thank you for requesting access. 100%. I'm glad to give you access to this training. Here you go. By the way, what makes you interested in getting the training? What makes you interested in downloading this thing? What makes you interested in wanting to join the webinar? Guess what you just did? You just sparked the conversation. And now you can ask subsequent questions that will really give you an idea of whether you can help somebody or not. I've had people that I started conversations with, but never booked an appointment because they weren't even looking for coaching. I've had people, I don't know how they got inside the group, but I had people that made it inside the group and they said, oh, I thought this was for life coaching.